Yo, what up, family? You see it, GSF front fenders, GSF side skirts. In today's video, I'm putting them on. Let's go. Alright, so there's a series of screws and clips that I'm removing, and then I'm going to remove the front bumper.
Alright, that should have freed up the headlights. So I'm going to remove the headlight because, man, I don't want anything to happen to this thing. Feels like there might be something else holding it. And because I don't want this thing to fall, yep, that freed it up right there. Be very careful with this. It's very expensive, as I'm sure you know. All right, so there's a series of plastic clips that hold the fender on, in addition to some screws. But I'm going to go ahead and remove all the plastic clips first. So basically, all I'm doing is getting the, you can use a flathead screwdriver. That's what I used before. You can use a scribe, whatever, as long as you can get in here and pop these up, you'll be able to remove them. All right, so it'll be sitting like this on the car. You get this in here, pop it up, and you'll be able to get it out. Yeah. Some of them are brittle, so they might break. Just keep that in mind. And if you break one, I guess you can get one from a junkyard, or you can go buy one new. I don't know that the auto parts store sells these exact ones that Lexus uses. But try not to break them. Basically, all I'm trying to do right now is remove the liner from the fender. As you can see, the fender is already a little bit loose. I'm going to need to release the screws that are holding it here alongside the door, and the running boards are going to have to come off. Just get it in there and pop it out. All right. So now for the hard part. To get between the door and the fender. Tell you what, I'll do the running boards first, because what's going to end up happening is if I remove those fasteners, I don't know if they're screws or plastic. I'm sure there's at least one screw there, right? But I don't know what all is there. So I'm going to remove the running boards first, because I don't want there to be a fastener. I'm pretty sure there's a fastener at the bottom underneath the running boards, and if I remove the fender, if I remove all the screws or fasteners holding it against the car between the door and the fender, right, then it is just going to be hanging down and then I'm gonna have to fight with the running board. So I'm just go straight to the running board now. Looking at the GSF side skirts, there are a series of screws alongside the bottom, and then when you open the door, there's these plastic covers that I'm sure hold some sort of fastener. As you can tell, I've never done this before. A lot of what I'm gonna show you on this channel is me learning something, and hopefully we learn together, right? If I mess it up, I mess it up, but YOLO, let's go. All right, so let's see what's behind here. I'm gonna go from the bottom. In the event that I scratch it up or I do something, it's not that visible. See, I already scratched it. And what is in there?
It's a little difficult to see, but it is a Phillips head screw.
I had to call in some reinforcements. I was afraid that I was gonna damage the side skirt, so I had my boys come out and help me. But believe it or not, it is very easy to do. All right, so there are 7 of these underneath the running board, and believe it or not, this is what is holding it in. This and 2 screws. So you get up underneath here, pop that out, and it's basically a big plug like we talked about before, a big plastic clip like we talked about before. You're trying to push this out so that these tabs will be able to compress, and when they compress, the whole thing comes out. There's 7 of them. You remove that. You remove this clip, the tab that goes, the clip that goes here. Once you do that, you're gonna remove screws in the back. I'll show you here shortly. One, and there's one here, and lastly you have a screw under here. So get that out. There's also supposed to be a plastic clip here too that comes out, but that's really all that's holding this running board on the car. I was pleasantly surprised, and let's go. All right, so side skirts are on, fenders are on. One thing to note, the fender liner doesn't line up, the GSF fenders does not line up with the GS350 fender liner, right? Kind of expected that. You can make portions of it work. I drilled a hole, a new hole for the fender liner here to line up with the fender. Drilled a new hole here. I intend on getting a GSF fender liners just because I want the car to look like it came from the factory. I don't want to cut any corners. I don't want to do too much modifying, especially when I can just purchase a part and bolt it on. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at with that. I have always wanted this car ever since it came out, and I bought these fog lights long before I got the car. So since I had the bumper off, I figured I would throw it on. I didn't record doing it because it's real simple. All I did was route the harness that came with it. The relay is behind this headlight, and this is the rest of the wiring I'll take care of after I button the car up. So I'm about to wrap the car up now. All right, let's go. Now would have been a perfect time to put a front lip on if I had one for the car.
But I did not buy a front lip for the car because I told myself that I was just gonna go for the front bumper that I want instead of spending money on the front lip. I'm regretting that now because I could do the car in stages, but we already have the aim game front bumper, so I'll just be putting on the aim game front bumper. I have to paint it. I have to paint the front lip. I'm gonna take it and get it wrapped in that clear protective film, and then I'll put it on. So I'm just gonna reverse everything you saw me do in the beginning, and I'll snap some pictures after. All right. Thanks for tuning in.